So listen closely to Sarah about her family and that deep-rooted connection that comes from her heart and her soul. Why do the Zionists want to eliminate that? Because it's indigenous. It's the roots of all people. Now you know who crucified Jesus. That's in my book. Thou shalt not judge. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Thou shalt not kill.
If you could talk some about the emotional change that you've gone through as you see now the Israeli war, the massacres in Gaza continuing, and the rest of the world refusing to do anything substantive about Israel, and also being here in the United States where anyone who protests this genocide is immediately criminalized and persecuted, whether it's by universities or the government or even sometimes the media.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, again, this is one of the reasons I appreciate this programming. Is it's a place where I've seen courageous reporting and elevating of Palestinian voices when I'm not seeing a fraction of what we need to see. So thank you again. Yeah, it's been horrific. It feels like a privilege to even talk about how horrible it's been for me, because I know nothing compares to what the Palestinians in Palestine and specifically Gaza are going through. But it's propelled me to dedicate myself ever more to these stories, to preserving and defending all the beauty and the abundance that is Palestine. You know, we are more than a genocide. We are more than Nakba. So it's, again, that duality of, in this book, there are many moments of joy and lushness and abundance, but also these moments of horror and heartbreak. And, you know, that's really just, you know, a small example of the larger scale of the Palestinian experience that you speak to. I think the last almost 2 years now has been this strange sense of deja vu, but on a scale, you know, none of us ever wanted to imagine. There's this sense of the externalization of history, like this thing that I knew in my body and carried in my body and my DNA, you know, of there is a force that's trying to erase us from the earth. There's a force that wants to silence our stories, that wants to silence anyone who would speak out, you know, in solidarity with us. It's been a very lonely and isolated sort of experience being a Palestinian in the U.S. Again, not to privilege my suffering, but I think the world is starting to see what Palestinians and those who've been paying attention have always known, which is Zionism is a relentless and totality, like a totalizing project. It won't stop until we're erased and we're gone. And there is no amount of nuance. There's not a modicum of nuance to Zionism. And as the U.S., which is also a Zionist country, has doubled down on its Zionist policies and intentions, both under Biden and now under Trump, I think that the lines are just clearer than ever. Yeah, I hope that people understand, if they didn't before, that Zionism, as well as just like the U.S. imperial project, is a project of anti-life. You know, there's no life for Palestinians, and there's no life for many of us as long as these projects are allowed to go on. So I commend the courage of the students and the journalists and the academics and the everyday people on the street who've been standing with us. And I just hope that we can continue to push forward, because any hope that Palestinians have, it begins first and foremost with the people on the ground resisting the absolute brute force of empire, which is coming to bear with everything it has on Gaza, but also here in the U.S., that we need to stay steadfast.
So who is this that's doing this? We call it America. No, it's not. It's the military-industrial complex. Since Vietnam, we spent over hundreds of trillions of dollars on weapons of mass destruction and major wars around the world. Why? To make profits for corporations. This is monopoly on steroids, folks, and it's the end of civilization if they keep going down this road. Because you think the rest of the world's going to sit back and allow them to totally exterminate everybody? It isn't going to happen. So we need to wake up here in America and get our values and our principles straight. It's about we the people. And now it's we the Palestinians. Why? Because they're the last group of indigenous people that are going to be slaughtered if we don't stop it. It's the Conscious Hour, folks. It's time to get active. speak out. Get active. Save the world. Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour.